What up, guys? Total Control 871. Alright, back here at cheapest place to shop in town, good old Walmart. And today, I am indeed going to pull the trigger on our Schumacher portable power station. It says it's a rollback price of $99.99, so hopefully. I do have a very spacious tent already. This is a tent that's a little bit smaller. It's an Ozark Trail, 10 by 9. As a matter of fact, I think I have a 10 by 9 Rainfly. I don't know if that goes with a Coleman. It's a long story behind it, but I don't know if it'll fit this thing or not. But probably won't. But anyway, I've been eyeballing this tent for the past couple of weeks. It was $75 on clearance, and then it went down to $49 on clearance, and I was like, oh man, yeah. And the reason why I want this tent, like I say, I already have my tent. It's kind of sad to say, but it is indeed a reality of homelessness. Anything can happen to your tent. Juvenile vandals, you know, they like to go into the woods looking for a good time or get high or whatever it is they do back there. The police, I won't get too deep into it, but it has been communicated to me that various police agencies knew where my tent, my camp, was the first location that I had. And anyway, like I say, you never know when the police will be the ones that vandalize your tent. Juveniles vandalize your tent, and then there's just good old-fashioned Mother Nature. We are going into summer, and there's going to be plenty of storms. So it's always good to have an emergency backup tent. This is a 3-season tent. The tent that I have, it's a 4-season. It's got a solid roof, but this has a mesh roof and a Rainfly over it. So that would probably help a great deal. But the thing was that I came in here a few days ago, you know, peeking around the corner, looking to see is my backup tent, is it still on clearance? You know, I was worried that somebody would see them and then buy them all up. And then I looking around and I'm like, oh no, damn, oh God. I was like, no. You know, and I was like, God damn. And I'm like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. But then I'm like looking around and I'm like, well, hold on. Here's a shelf of the exact same tent, and it's for $100. And I'm like reading these tags, and what this actually says, if the phone will ever get around to fucking focusing, basically, trust me, it says 8P. That's 8-person tent. Oh my God, I think my phone literally is myopic like me, like how I wear glasses. I think my phone needs glasses. And this is a 10-person. So I was like, okay, well, maybe all hope isn't lost. And as I was looking and looking, I couldn't help but notice that our was askew. And then I saw this itty bitty yellow, and I'm like, what is this? Yes! Ding! Ding, 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 ding. The Price is Right winter music. So I am very elated, and I just asked the sales associates if they could please do a price check on my tent here that I've selected, and they did indeed confirm it is the clearance price of $49. So there you go. My emergency, I'm going to be using this tent for something else. When I change locations, I don't like to stay in one place for too long. Changing locations, a smaller, much cheaper tent, the tent that was generously donated to me. Big shout out to Invisible People, Mark Horvath from Invisible People. He met with me. The man is definitely a God saint. If you guys want to drop some coins into actually helping homeless people instead of a bunch of, just bottomless pit charities, check out Mark Horvath on Invisible People. I'm sure there's a Patreon or a GoFundMe or something. I don't know. Don't get me quoting shit, but he'd be better. He would direct you a little bit better than I could. If you want to help people, because the man crowdfunded me a tent that was like, had the tarp and the base tarp, and it was like almost $400 this man did for me. That was incredible. That was incredible. It was something that actually helped. It wasn't just simply ridiculousness of social workers who are being paid these fantastic amounts of money when the city allocates X amount of funding, $1 million. We have $1 million allocated to help the homeless, and what actually becomes of that $1 million? Usually it translates into city contracts. Let's hire a bunch of social workers who can then go out and once again take the same old survey, the same old study that yields the same old information, and by the time it's all said and done, let's just say a lot of money has been moved around, and a lot of it ends up back into the political coffers of a lot of elected officials. And well, the homeless, they're just homeless on the street and in the woods and in bus terminals and wherever else they're at. Nothing is ever actually done. But Mark Horvath from Invisible People, he actually did something that could actually help the homeless. So big shout out to him. I am considering, now that we've got our Schumacher 1200 amp, what do you think? A little this thing is battery operated. Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember why I was considering that thing. If I were to buy that, what would I do? I would buy, because I think those are D cells. Is it D or C? I forget the battery size. Come on. Why do they always make the battery size so difficult to find? 6D size. 6D size. Now obviously I figure 6D batteries, we're talking in the middle of summer, July, August. That's only a 10-inch fan. Well, I don't know if I would stay in the scout tent. I'm calling this my scout tent. If I wanted to take that tent to a new location and set it up and see how things work out there, rather than risk my expensive tent being there. This could be my advanced scout tent, as well as my emergency backup tent, should my primary tent get vandalized. In the middle of summer, that would burn through that in like one day, and obviously I'm not buying 6 D-cell batteries every single day. Screw that. So I would have to get rechargeable D batteries, and a recharger, the cradle for those batteries, and then plug it into our Schumacher, which could recharge it, or when I'm out and about at the various cafes. So I don't know, I'm gonna hold off on that. What I am also gonna do is grab a couple of these little darlings. I always need these. It's good to keep the tent weatherproof. You got to be proactive, you know. It's like what, $6, so it's $12 for a couple of cans, and you got to reapply. It says one coating lasts. You know, that's bullshit. You pretty much got to buy yourself a couple of cans and basically silicone the entire tent, the entire thing, the roof, the walls, the rain fly, all of it. You got to do that like about every 3 months or so. So I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna grab myself a base. No, I can use my base tarp. I don't need another base tarp, so I can skip on that. And there you go. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today here. I have to see what else I want to get. Here's some nifty little tents. They claim to be 4-person. You pretty much just cut that number in half. So unless you're like really skinny, I would call this a 1-person tent because you got your stuff, you know. This looks good. It's a solid roof. What? Nice and cheap, $30. You can silicone this sucker, you know, and of course put in additionals because we got our exoskeleton, and you can drape your additional tarp over top of that. That will definitely keep it rainproof. I would take this rather than, you know, the 6-person, but all of this has to go inside the tent, you know, this entire rig. Plus my sleeping gear, my clothing, it all has to go in there, and it has to be shielded from the elements, you know, reasonably well. So I would definitely go with that, but it's just not really workable. Like I said, I'm not looking for a mansion, just something that's workable. All right, let's see what else we got. Field and Stream makes a very, very heavy-duty cot, capable of supporting 600 pounds. Luckily, I'm not quite that bad yet. So, but even a heavy-duty cot, the problem with it is that the fabric begins to sag, and when my tent got vandalized, it was done in a very, very strange way. The articulating frame, I guess it's steel, was stolen, leaving just the body of the tent, the fabric. Also, they stole the cot, the Field and Stream military cot. It makes me wonder if a junkie was the one that did the vandalizing, although I'm not committed to that. You know, scrap metal, stuff like that. Or was it just simply made to look like that? There's a lot I could tell you guys. I would like one of these inflatables. Inflatables, they'll sag too, kind of. At least when you're as heavy as I am. It's inflating them, though, and you'd have to do it periodically. Built-in pump, that's good. And of course, we've got our inflator. So our Schumacher, it serves quite a few different purposes. You know, power the fan, keep the bed inflated. I just don't think I'm ready to pull the trigger on this inflatable mattress just yet. I don't know. I kind of got used to sleeping on the ground, and I do try to keep it as bare minimum as possible. But it does a number on my back real bad, especially during the change of the season and stuff like that. All right. Alright, I guess that's gonna be it for the camping stuff. I'll see if we can get a couple more items. A must. An absolute must. I just saw some black guy walking around with his presumably girlfriend, pajama bottoms on and like slippers. That's okay. I mean, Walmart's not, you know, swanky, Bloomingdale's or anything like that, but he was doing something that I couldn't help but notice a lot of urban black dudes like to do. Why do they stick their hands down the front of their pants? I don't get it. What's up with that? Does it signify something? I don't get it. Strange. There's an awful lot I'd like to get out of there, but it's just gonna have to keep on waiting and waiting and waiting. Nah, I don't get the off-brand stuff. You just end up using more of the stuff anyway, so. Zipper or the double zipper? Slider or the double zipper? I don't know which one to get. When your ice melts in your chest, you really don't want the water to get in, so I really like to get, you know, the most waterproof as I possibly can, and I guess I'll go with the double zipper, gallon, 20 bags. Not only for keeping it waterproof, but also, once again, summer is coming and so are the bugs. Anything that's sweet must be protected. You know, you'd really think they'd give you a better discount for buying more. You know? Well, what are you gonna do? I'm pretty sure this is gonna be my last case of water. It's definitely starting to get warm enough now where I can buy the big jugs. The addiction. Curse you, curse you, curse you. I just got finished preaching about vices and addiction. I'm slave to this garbage, and I need to really stop, because it tethers me to society, and the ultimate goal here is to give society both middle fingers and tell them to go fuck themselves. But for now, unfortunately, I am still slave to the dew. Well, what are you gonna do? Guess who bought it for the 35? God damn it. Some days you can't win. Oh well, at least I got something good on the tent. Apparently this area is going to be for their new waiting area. When you order things online and they set up like couches and stuff, this is where your, you know, waiting area. Alright guys, let's do this. Ouch. I went for the $9 2-year protection plan on the Schumacher. I hope that was a good move. Alright, hold on.
Please take your receipts. Thank you for shopping at Walmart.
Alright guys, when I was on the way out, some guy goes to like grab and manhandle the back of the trailer here, because I was safely maneuvering out of the self-check area, and basically I was telling him, please don't grab it, you know, don't. And he's like, well, okay, but you gotta hurry up though, you gotta hurry up. The point, even when people are on 2 feet, everybody's in this self-confessed hurry to go where? He wasn't going anywhere. He just simply he didn't like me telling him not to grab the back of the trailer because, anyway. All right, so no, your eyes are not deceiving you. I am sweating profusely, people. I haven't checked the weather report for the past couple of days, actually. I need to be on top of that a bit more. And usually when I sweat like this, because it's pretty cold outside. It's pretty damn cold. I don't know if Walmart is cranking the heat because it's cold outside, because it's like, 29 degrees out there. But I am sweating profusely. That's usually an indicator that rain is on the way. I am the human barometer. When I sweat enigmatically like this, it tends to indicate rain. Rain. All right. That's it for today. I'll let you know how that Schumacher thing works out. That thing requires 36 hours initial charge. That's going to be a bit tricky getting that taken care of, but we'll see what we can do. Total Control 871.